Welcome to the channel, and today I'm going to go over the 5 things that you will need to know if you're planning on buying an RV in 2022. This includes toy haulers, travel trailers, fifth wheels, motorhomes. And if this is the first time that you have visited this channel, we talk about everything having to do with the RV business and camping. I have 11 years of experience under my belt in about every job you can think of at an RV dealership. So I'm just going to pass that along to you. Let's get started. The first thing that you should know is that prices are not going down in the RV business. They are going up. A lot of my colleagues across the country go on YouTube and tell you that they took a 1% price increase in Ohio, for example. That's not necessarily the full truth. There's a lot of inventory that has not reached dealership lots since June of this year, and those increases look ginormous. We got a 19-foot travel trailer on the lot I work at, and it is $10,000 more than its predecessor that we had in June. So it's July, August, September, October, November, December. So in 6 months, it has gone up 58% in a 6-month period of time. Now, what does that mean for those that are getting ready for tax season? You're going to buy in March or April of 2022. It means breathe. Realize they are going to go up in price, and you should prepare for it. That's a segue. So number 2 is 8 out of 10 customers that purchase an RV, and this hasn't changed ever, are going to finance the travel trailer, toy hauler, fifth wheel, motorhome, whatever the RV is. They're going to finance it in some form. So even though the prices are going like this, the interest rates have stayed down here. In fact, interest rates went down in 2021. Now the Fed is expecting to raise interest rates next year in the first quarter. But let's say that they raise it 25%, 0.25. If they raise it 0.25, it'll affect your buying power by $6 a month. So with those low interest rates and those high prices, payments are still affordable. What I would recommend is get online, go to a loan calculator, punch in the current average interest rate for good credit, which is 5.99, plug in 15-year term, and see what the payment comes out to be at each dollar amount, so you know what you're shopping for, whether it's a new unit or a used unit. Wait a minute, that's another segue. Leave me a comment at the bottom. Let me know what RV you're planning on buying in 2022. Whether it's a travel trailer, a toy hauler, a motorhome, fifth wheel, let me know. Also, if you enjoy this content, do YouTube a favor. Give a thumbs up, hit that like button right there, and then subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell so that way you can be notified about future videos. It helps the channel and it helps spread the word about this information. The third thing that you should know is that the used and new market have something in common, and that is a very big shortage of inventory. When we grew in 2020, the little dealership I worked for, we got a lot of customers that walked in and said that they were going to wait until the end of 2021 when everybody went back to work and when the used market was just going to come collapse. They're going to go back to work. They're not going to have time for it anymore. They're going to look to dump them, and that's when all the deals are going to come around. Now, if you're one of those folks and you're watching this video, let me know if you're still waiting, because it's not going to happen anytime soon. Manufacturers like Forest River, Keystone, Coachman, I'll even go as far as Winnebago, they all have decided to shrink the amount of floor plans that they're building because of the part shortages. We are in one of the most unique economies in the history of mankind. There's not enough supplies and there's a huge demand. So how do you try to meet that demand? They went from building 10 to 15 floor plans per division down to their top 4 or 5, if 4 and 5 were pretty close. So if you're wondering why you haven't seen that great, wonderful, grand design fifth wheel that they built in 2019 that was so gorgeous at the show, probably didn't sell that well. And then on top of that, you want to look at pricing. RV pricing on used is astronomical. So to piggyback on that, when you're going out and you want to look at a used unit, used RVs are in just a high demand in a very short supply. So when you're looking for something and you are going to finance it, you want to make sure you look for something that's 8 years old or newer. Now that may not fit in your price budget, but it'll be easier to finance it. Now at the description box below, I've got 2 videos that I did prior that are for older units and for financing used units. So check that out below. Okay, for the fourth thing that you really got to know about the RV business, I got to find a bodyguard because I'm going to get my butt kicked by, well, let's say the majority of people that say cash is king. No, absolutely not. You paying cash for an RV does not help your negotiating power. Cash down is king. So when a dealership has a trailer or fifth wheel or any kind of RV on the lot, and they can get it financed through one of their lenders, generally the lender goes, here's a kickback. You pay cash, they lose the kickback. So a lot of times you're probably wondering, hey, how come a dealership is not calling me back over their best cash price? Well, it's because they're looking for somebody that's financing. So they'll take their time and wait it out. Now, there's exceptions, and those exceptions are there are some dealerships that don't have lenders that pay them kickbacks, and there are units out there that cannot be financed traditionally. So with that being said, there is exceptions, but remember, cash down is king, not cash. Be gentle in the comments, please. My final thing that I want to go over with you when you buy an RV in 2022 is that if you're a first-time buyer or if you're a repeat offender, let's remember that they are built by human beings. And when they get transported from Indiana or Oregon or wherever they're being built down to the dealership, they don't get put on a train. They get towed behind a truck or driven out by a driver. So what happens? It goes like an earthquake on wheels. Give some flack. Remember this, that RV will always stand for, no matter when they're built, toolkit and sense of humor. So until next time, there's going to be a video on RV financing basics, and that is right there. And until next time, folks, happy camping, take a deep breath, and may 2022 be the most kick-butt year you've ever had.